Hello, I'm Todd Phillips, the editor of Canadian Auto Dealer. We're here today with John Peron, the managing director of Hunter Canada. Now, John's company last week held its own Innovation Expo with physical events on the decline right now and not possible. A lot of companies are still trying to figure out a way to get their message out. So John's here today to talk to us about that. John, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you very much for having me, Todd.
So as I say, physical events are just not possible now, and COVID cases are going up. So it looks like really for the foreseeable future, suppliers and vendors to the industry have to find new ways to get their message out. So tell us a bit about the Innovation Expo you held last week and what that experience was like for your dealers.
So with SEMA being canceled this year, our organization had to find some creative ways to continue on with our philosophy over the course of what we do at this time of year. Our organization likes to introduce new products and to show enhancements off at this respective show. So we decided to put together an expo that we could invite people in, and we would have short little vignettes of different product categories that could show off our wares and have some interest, no different than it would be if they were hands-on in front of us as we're kicking tires at the show.
Well, it was an interesting experience. We were invited to take part in it as well in Canadian Auto Dealer. So we're able to see, you had hosts really set up almost like a sports center type environment with lots of energy and going back and forth, going to videos. So, and you yourself participated in part of that production. What was that like?
It was an interesting event, especially the pre-production portion of it. Being remotely here because I was unable to travel to the U.S. to do the filming. I was the on-site sportscaster, and I got an opportunity to participate in 4 or 5 different segments. But specific to the Sports Center field that we had, we actually broke it down into different categories. So if you were a dealer, you got one experience. If you were a general repair shop, you got one experience. If you were a collision or a heavy-duty customer, you got an entirely different experience. And we were able to pull off these little vignettes of probably about 15 minutes or so, to keep customers engaged and then allow them to take advantage of the promotional activity that we had during the event. No different than what we would have done at SEMA.
Well, it's an interesting thing. I think a lot of vendors sell a lot of technology at these events, and with that opportunity gone, you still need them to be able to be their entire kick. And your equipment specifically is a real show me kind of technology. We're talking about automated inspection equipment, automated tire changers. Dealers really like to see how it works and really get a feel for it. So how are you able to replicate that kind of in the virtual event with these videos?
So what we did is we tried to keep things into a perspective where we could keep everyone's attention. So for example, we had 13 brand new products that we introduced during the show, whether that was from software or from hardware, where we're actually, banging tires out or showing off, alignment equipment from that standpoint. What we try to do is try to keep it very short, about a minute and a half, so that we can keep their attention. And then we identified areas where we could have communication back and forth with the respective customers if they wanted to continue on from that for that discussion.
And so how did it go? What was the feedback from dealers and participants that you went through, and what was their, what did you hear from them?
So some of the feedback we've heard was, they were surprised that we're able to pull something together off. I believe that the quality of the event that we showed was extremely high. And so we got some favorable feedback from our customers. And then we've seen a lot of activity going on, both with not only the promotional activity, but customers that typically come to see us in Las Vegas and do their annual buy. We've seen a lot of activity, and we're just finishing up some of that activity over the course of the next week or two to support the sales that have gone on through the event.
So, some advantages: no jet lag, no hangovers, no big hotel bills, and you're still able to meet your customers. So what does this mean kind of going forward? Do you expect that your company is going to continue to offer this type of experience or comparable experiences for, say, NADA? That's another big dealer show, and there's other Ontario shows like ACE that have happened before where you guys have had a big presence?
Right. So the first thing is I don't have the extra weight coming home, so that's pretty good for me. But I do think our organization is going to be focusing in on these types of things, at least for the short to midterm. We have numbers rising during the pandemic here. And so I think that for sure we're going to be looking at events like NADA, and then we'll be looking at other events, most specifically in Canada, that apply to Hunter Canada, how we can support the customers, how we can engage with them. And outside of being belly to belly with them, which is really the fundamentals of our organization, this seems to be a very interactive way where we've been able to actually get the attention of not only 1 or 2 decision makers, but the entire organization at different levels.
Well, the other thing you did, you mentioned belly to belly. At least we were screen to screen. Canadian Auto Dealer had sort of a private, if you will, VIP briefing with our editorial team was on the line, and you're able to walk us through kind of a guided exploration of different technologies. And you had customized and handpicked different things that you wanted to show our team that were really for the benefit of the dealer audience. But you had, I don't know, maybe 20 of these. I think you'd mentioned prior to that. So what was that like in that kind of one-on-one session, that VIP session where you're interacting with your clients? What was that feedback like? That's obviously a different experience than just the Innovation Expo where they go in and watch, if you will, the Sports Center show. So what was that like?
Yeah, so we actually, between me and my 4 regional managers, I think we were up to about 95, 96 meetings over the course of the 3-day event. So we were pretty excited to be able to bring those folks in. To be honest with you, I would say probably on average, we do about 60 to 70 of them while we're in Las Vegas, but the ability to control our own timetable and not have to worry about meeting rooms down in Las Vegas allowed us to actually increase the number of throughput that we have with the accounts. And for us and for them, I think it was interesting because it was a way to reconnect. Again, screen to screen, belly to belly, as we prefer to do in our business model. But we were able to engage with them. We were able to show them specific products that apply to their respective needs and their customer base. And for some of our national accounts, the ability to show off some new wares like ADAS and that kind of stuff that have a real big interest inside their network. So we're able to successfully pull that off, and we're looking forward to what the future holds specific to not only what we showed over the course of the week, but any new activities or events that we're going to be called in to join them.
And here's just a general question, I guess, because you talk to so many dealers in Canada, and I'm curious, with the pandemic, obviously the industry's taken a bit of a hit, and now the focus on fixed ops, are they even more focused on really trying to get some other equipment in there to increase throughput, either on tire changing or inspection? And what was that like in terms of, if you could read the mood of the Canadian dealer body?
Yeah, the interesting research that we follow is that for dealers in the North American market, which includes Canada, 60% of them are now looking for opportunities through fixed operations to make sure that sale activity is still on the rise. And so we have a lot of equipment that can support them in their service drive-through lanes. And we took the opportunity to take advantage of that, obviously, when we were speaking to as many dealers as possible or dealer groups during the event. And we look forward to being able to bring that same type of activity, that same type of energy to any customer who wants to do that. Right now on this time, we would have to firmly schedule events and make sure that we're meeting all the COVID protocols for any entry to any location. And we're still moving forward with that, but this certainly allows us to get in front of much more people with more of a planned schedule, hopefully that can meet what their respective schedule timelines are amidst what's going on out there.
Well, look, that's great. I applaud you and your company for really, trying this out. There's going to be a lot of innovation. I know we participated in a TAD event earlier this year, and everybody's trying new platforms, new approaches, new ways to still stay in contact, still stay connected, and let the flow of information, if you will, from dealers to suppliers to media to the industry and the experts to make sure the industry moves forward. And so kudos to you for trying that out. And thanks for coming today and sharing that with our audience.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to what we've been doing, and we're very excited for what we're going to be doing moving in the future here. So thanks again.
Okay, John, thanks for joining us today. Signing up.